All right, guys, we're live.
Alright, so this is going to be episode 2 for My 13th Reason podcast. I'm here with, nonetheless, Josh and Drips. Drips is here for episode 2. Um, I'm
Yep.
going to be hosting this one.
Yeah.
I am screen sharing right now, right?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure everything's working good. So we have 5 topics today. We're going to go over the Kyle Rittenhouse trial just a little bit. The new COVID variant, inflation, Ben Shapiro reacts to the WNBA parade, and college COVID cases across the U.S.
Yep.
So we got some pretty interesting topics going on today. So I think it's time to get started with the first one.
Thanks.
So this first one, Kyle Rittenhouse, I'll just give a little background just for those who don't know about Kyle Rittenhouse. He was 17 at the time and went to a riot in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yep.
He killed a guy or two. I don't know the exact thing. He killed a guy or two
He killed
out of
two and injured one.
self-defense. Yep, that's what it was. And he claimed that it was self-defense. And as you can see, that's what it was self-defense. He had 5 charges going at him. First-degree intentional homicide. He was found not guilty. Attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Not guilty. First-degree reckless homicide. Not guilty. First-degree recklessly endangering safety. Not guilty. First-degree recklessly endangering safety. Not guilty. I'm going to stop there for now. Josh, you got anything to say?
Um, Not really. I think you covered most of it, and if not all of it. He was completely withheld within the constitutional rights of self-defense, and they proved that in the court of law, which is a good standpoint we have in today's world, because not a lot of stuff is like normal and everything's haywire. So this was a good revolutionary point in history, in our
Yeah.
history at least, to put us on the right track.
And they kept it completely constitutional, like you said. And that's a lot at this point in our society at this time.
Yeah.
There's a video I need to pull up here. This one right here. This is his. Whenever they're reading the verdict, I'm gonna switch this so you guys can hear it.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Anthony and JoJo will always be our heroes. The other young man as well, Gage, I'm sorry. They deserve better. Their families deserve better. This city, county, and state, and this nation deserves better.
At a certain point, we must confront the fact that the layers.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. I thought that was the verdict. My bad.
No, you're good, man.
Okay, it's this one. It's this one. It's this one.
As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it there so people don't have to see that. So a big thing that I'd like to state here is that he cried and he broke down in tears. A bunch of people over the media were saying that it was fake tears and that was ridiculous. But whenever you're put in that situation, it's very, very emotional. Very,
Yeah.
very emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
And so him crying, that just, it showed a lot to everybody. So I think that covers this. Josh, you got anything to say?
No, I don't have anything to say besides the fact that the prayers go out to the people's family that this stuff happened, and maybe some people believe that the rioters or protesters, whatever you want to call them, were not in the wrong, or they were. Whatever you believe,
Mm-hmm.
prayers still go out to their families, and that's all.
Yeah, anybody's families who were impacted in this, prayers definitely go out to them.
Yeah.
Whether they were in the right or wrong, it's a lost life. So, Drips, you got anything to say?
Nah.
All right, on to the next one. I'm gonna fix my screen share for you guys. Okay, we should be good.
Yeah. We go.
Okay, so on the next one, we have the new COVID variant. It is called Omicron. And I don't know about you. When did you hear about this one? Because I just heard about it today.
I heard about it like 4 days ago, maybe. Yeah, about 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's new. So it started in South Africa, and from here it says spreads to North America, Australia, and more of Europe.
I did not know that information, to be honest with you.
Neither did I. I heard something. I don't know if it's on here. So the CDC has not announced any cases of the Omicron variant in the U.S., but Fauci said Sunday that it is inevitable that there will be confirmed cases at some point. The variant has already been identified in cases in Botswana, the United Kingdom, Italy, Germany, Belgium, Israel, and the Netherlands, Australia, and Hong Kong.
Jeez.
Scientists are not certain where the variant originated, but the mutations of the virus were first identified by scientists in South Africa, and the WHO deemed it a variant of concern on Friday, given it already rapid spread. I read somewhere, I can't find it on here, but I heard something about Fauci saying that we may go back into a lockdown because of this, which, do you have anything to say on that? Because I think that's just completely bullcrap.
Yeah, that's crazy. And can you do me a favor and go into a new tab and just search up coronavirus right quick? And then click that little map on the right. And then zoom out.
It's loading.
Yeah. And then zoom out. And then we go over to Africa. So as you can see, it doesn't look like it's a big deal on the map. That's my only concern with it, because you see over here England and then parts of Europe. Europe is popping.
Yeah, a
right
big
now.
of it is in
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
England.
I don't get it. It's popping in England right now, and they say there's a second variant, but it's not updated on the map, which kind of concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, I think I don't think we as American citizens get enough information. I think they don't give it to the people.
Yeah, I can concur with that.
And I think that's not right. So just in Missouri alone, they've had total cases 915,000 deaths. They've had 15,000. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
A huge difference. Don't get me wrong, 15,000 people dying, that's a lot of people, but people die every day.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about that. But whenever it becomes something that they claim is a pandemic, it automatically jumps the importance of it. And I think me and you can both agree that's just not right. And it's same with rappers and stuff. No one cared about their music. Let's say Juice WRLD, for instance. A lot of people cared for his music, but a lot more cared for his music after he died.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's always bandwagons and stuff,
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, prayers out to everybody's families who were impacted because of COVID. which is which is the whole entire U.S. To be honest, everybody's been impacted because of it, whether you realize it or not. And it's a big deal right now. And I'll say for myself, I don't know about anybody else in this call, but the vaccination isn't even an idea right now.
Yeah, and
I
personally,
have to get it tomorrow.
really,
What'd you say, Drips?
Yep, I have to get it tomorrow.
Oh,
explain
really?
explain
Hmm.
your thoughts on like on
If
you
you
getting
want
it.
to, you're not
Yeah,
forced.
if you're comfortable.
Nah, I really don't care. Everyone in my family has it at this point, so I could care less.
Haven't you had the
What?
COVID before?
Yeah, I've had it like, yeah, once.
And they're still making you get it?
Yeah, the thing I look about, like I think about is like, if I die, I die.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, and personally
And
speaking, I have the vaccine and nothing has happened to me that I know of. So, it's safe short term. We don't know the long term effects of it. And I think that, you know, as like President Biden, he seems like he wants to force a lot of people to get it. And I believe as American citizens we should have the right to say no
hmm
instead of him forcing it on literally everybody, making it, in your jobs and stuff. Yeah, but I get it's a pandemic and we all just want to go to normal lives, but I feel like there are much better ways to go about like precautions than just to force everybody to get a vaccine that's like only 90 something percent effective.
um, Josh, I know that you're on the Streamlabs. Can you move the screen to the middle
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
put the topic on the left? It's up to you. Either way.
I got you.
I was watching it on my other monitor and I realized that, but like you said, it shouldn't be forced, and I think that's a big deal. American citizens, they don't want to be forced to do absolute crap.
That's true.
Just like we said in the episode before, laziness. If they were to say that it was up to the people, like Donald J. Trump did, he wasn't going to force the vaccine. But what happened? We had a new president come in, Joe Biden, okay? And stuff happens.
Wait, so what did you guys say about it being like against your constitutional rights?
Freedom.
Yeah.
And I think you could agree with us, right, Drips?
No, I definitely agree. It's against your constitution rights, and I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, soon it's gonna be forced to even go to school, and I'm gonna be so mad, but
Yeah.
I have to get it anyway. So,
And, I think that's another big thing is it all COVID or is there some flu involved?
I mean, there's probably like underlining,
There's
like
other things that have to do with it. And we know this.
yeah, there's like other stuff, and people just want to jump to conclusion and blame it on something.
Yeah. I truly believe.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's another big thing. There's a couple vaccines that aren't meant for young kids because
My brother just got his vaccine. He has
you're good.
influenza. I think it's
Influenza?
no, it's not the flu. It's something what you have in your foot, Jake.
Oh, plantar fasciitis?
Inflammation in his
Oh,
heart.
inflammation.
Yeah, he has inflammation in his heart. Um,
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, prayers out to your family, Riley, and your brother, of course.
Thanks.
It's kind of scary to hear, but it's in God's hands and he'll be okay. But yeah, it's a lot going on with sicknesses across the world.
And then
Um,
baby Carter has COVID.
oh. And that's another thing I don't get. How are kids really
Mhm.
shouldn't be getting the flu, right? Or
I
the
mean,
COVID.
it doesn't really affect them as like
Okay,
Carter's
that's what
fine.
it is.
Carter's perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little kid's perfectly fine. But if my grandma, which she has the vaccine, she can still get it. But
Mhm.
if she was to get it, she would probably die.
And that's like you just said, you can still get it. What's the point of the vaccine then? The vaccine is to be
I
so that
don't
you
know.
don't get it. And
It
I've
lowers
also
the
read up on
chances,
that
but
the vaccine isn't a correct vaccine. They didn't make it how it's supposed to be made.
Well, you see, the
yeah.
vaccine, it is made with messenger RNA, which means what it does is it like puts spike proteins inside your body so that your
Yeah.
body can get rid of it quicker so that it knows what it is. But I was researching somewhere that when you're born, what your cells do, like your immune cells, your B cells
Yeah.
and T cells and all that, what they do is they mix and match spike proteins so that your your storage, let's just say your storage of all the diseases, they're all stored, like every single combination of spike proteins are stored inside of your main place, so that when you get injected or infected, I should say, with something, your B cells can send the necessary antibodies to attack that. And that's the thing with the older versus younger. When you're more young, like let's just say our range, our immune system works faster and stuff. And then when you're older, it doesn't work fast enough, so that when you get COVID, it's already taken up most of your body, so that when you get the antibodies, you're already forced into being shut down. And what the COVID vaccine is just making sure that your cells or your antibodies are there fast enough so that you don't die from it. That's really all the vaccine is. You can still get it. It's just make sure you don't die from it. That's the main thing for the vaccine.
Yeah, and I think that was perfectly well said, and it makes a lot more sense why older people normally have the COVID has more of an impact on older people rather than older people rather than younger people, such as children and teenagers. But
yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. Riley, you got anything to say, or do you guys want to go on to the next topic?
I think the next topic is
no.
yeah.
All right, so on to the next topic. So Ben Shapiro. Now, I have a big thing for this guy. I think this is definitely one of my favorite, you could say politician, but he's not really a politician. So, but he's got a show of his own. Go ahead.
No, man.
Ben Shapiro is one of my favorite guys, and he's more of a middle guy. He's not liberal, not conservative, but I would definitely say he kind of leans on the right side with a lot of his things. So, all right, let's just get on to it. So this is the WNBA parade, and basically he reacts to it. So I skipped to a part of it. The WNBA, as much as I don't want to say this, I love girls sports, don't get me wrong. Softball, mad respect to softball. But there's just, WNBA does not compare to any other professional sports. It just doesn't. Now, I'm going to watch the video. I'm going to change my screen so you guys can hear it. But you're going to realize that this parade for WNBA was absolutely empty. So let's just listen to what Ben Shapiro has to say.
So, the Chicago Sky, apparently they're a team in a league that exists. Yeah, didn't really know or care, really, because who does? So they had a championship celebration. So the championship celebration started off at the park. Is it Millennium Park, I guess, in Chicago? And some people showed up, no crowd estimates. And then they had a parade. And people were like, well, just because nobody showed up for the parade doesn't mean people didn't show up at the park. Yes, but normally when you have the Golden State Warriors win an NBA championship, people show up for the parade too. The video of the parade is deeply humiliating to the WNBA, as well it should be. And remember, the NBA subsidizes the WNBA to the tune of tens of millions of dollars every year. If you can't see this, there are buses of people going down the street, open air buses. There are 4 buses. First of all, I don't know how big this team is. There are 4 buses. No one on the street.
Jeez,
I got covered with an ad. But, I mean, that just shows that, nobody cares about
no one.
WNBA.
I mean, the assembled score of people cheered ecstatically as the buses passed.
That's
The assembled
sarcasm.
small group of people who could fit in a telephone booth cheered wildly. The excitement. Can you feel the excitement at the WNBA here? Can you feel it? And wow. Palpable excitement. I mean, people haven't been this excited since the release of Ishtar. The bicyclists and the people, honest to God, the people on the top of the bus.
You know, let's just compare that. Golden State Warriors.
You know, I have something to say about that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I don't think there should be like just one, like two categories, like NBA and then WNBA, because there girls can actually get drafted into the NBA. You just have to be really freaking good.
Yeah.
And there's actually been a girl that got drafted,
Yeah, I know, but she
but
was
she got
pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
so she
Oh.
couldn't play.
And she was the
So-
only woman ever drafted in the NBA.
But
Oh,
she
like-
was really good.
Yeah.
If you get to a certain level of stint, like Stephen Curry or Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or LeBron James, they would draft you, but you have to be to that certain
Yeah.
stint.
Yeah, and the thing is with that, like, when you think of like Major League Baseball, you have like there's the minor league and then there's the major league. Major league. Geez.
Major.
you don't see like a lot of separation between them. There's just the minor and the major. The people that are like not old enough to be in the major, and then the people that are good enough to, like they're old enough and good to be in the major league.
Yeah.
You don't have like a separation. It's just there's good players and then there's not good players, or there's old enough players and there's not old enough players. And as you said, the NBA is fully open to accept like women in the NBA, but it's just not a lot of them like really do that, and then they're just settling for less in the WNBA, and they don't make as much money first of all either. And then that just like drives a whole new question with women and currency and how like they're not being paid as much, yada yada yada, all that controversy stuff. And it's just, I agree with entirely what Riley said with there shouldn't be like a split just for women and just for men. It should be mixed. You just have to be good enough to be in the major stuff.
Yeah, so I'd like to show a little bit of this video right here. The Golden State Warriors, an NBA team, won the 2018 championship. Okay, this is the same exact thing, not the same year, but this is the same exact concept with the WNBA. Look how big this crowd is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's everything.
And from this point of view, you can't really see the crowd. All right, right here. Look at that crowd.
Yeah.
Look at this crowd. Where's the crowd? There's 20 people on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
In all due defense, I definitely think that has more crowd, guys. Like, come on, it's obvious. There's like 20 people and like 2 million in the other end. Come on,
It's.
20
know.
wins.
I'd like to say this. It takes skill to get to the WNBA, but off of this, it doesn't look like it's very entertaining. I mean, seriously, like Ben Shapiro said, he said, does this entertain you? Does this get your excitement up? No, it really doesn't. Whenever you watch that Golden State Warriors championship parade, that excites me. Seeing a bunch of people in the crowd screaming, then the alarms, not the alarms, the horns and stuff, like, it's exciting. And I think that's very boring. I mean, the WNBA is just small, and like you guys said, that you can get drafted into the NBA as a girl. Same with the NFL. You can get drafted as a girl, and I think there's been girls who have, right, Riley?
I'm not for sure. I haven't done research on that, but there probably has been just.
There's
like,
been
something
kickers.
happened. Yeah.
And there's been coaches.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's.
I
all
saw a
kinds of
video in
girl
the
coaches.
WNBA. The coach was a guy.
Yeah, there's all kinds of girl coaches.
Yeah.
In the NFL now.
And so I think this shows a lot to the WNBA, and I think that they need to get a grip. Seriously.
I think basically, like, with all due respect, I believe the WNBA is just like a participation award kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
obviously they don't get enough money to like pay their
Oh, they
athletes
get
a lot, and then they, like, you can see in that right there, there's hardly no like people supporting them, which means they get even less money because nobody wants to tune in to watch their streams and whatnot. So it's just like WNBA is just, oh yeah, I'm in the WNBA, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It
And-
still takes dedication and work, and a lot more work than most people put in. It's just not nowhere near as much work as you have to do to get in the NBA.
Yeah, for sure.
No offense, I'm not sexist at all, but it comes to a point in time that if you want to get to a professional league in any type of sport, you got to be willing to put that much of work in, more work than the other person. If you're working out with someone, you got to put 10 times more work than the person right beside you. That's the mentality you have to have. You're not just going to get into the WNBA and be like, yeah, I'm in the WNBA. Like Josh said, it takes work, but if you want to get higher to the NBA where you get paid 10 times more, you have tens of millions of thousands more people watching you. It's gonna take 100 to 10 times more work than the WNBA does.
And you're also competing against millions of other people.
1,000 good
You have
players.
so many other people that you're competing against, and like a big thing with WNBA is there really that much other competition that they have to deal against? Maybe a little bit, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't compare to NBA. And
I've actually done my research on that, Jake. I think maybe the tallest player in the WNBA is like maybe 6'5", 6'7",
yeah,
and that's the average height for the NBA.
yeah. I was gonna say that's normal height for the NBA. A short player in the NBA, Steph Curry,
It's like
point guard for the
6'3",
Golden State Warriors, he's like 6'3" or 6'4". They count that as short in the NBA.
and that's
That's
tall compared
that's
to people.
tall compared to normal size of humans. So, yeah. If you guys are good to go on from there, Josh, you want to say anything?
No, not really. I just like, yeah, that's really bad. Well, like, when you're in the NBA and you would be like a woman trying to get drafted, the only real like issue would be with the NBA is if they didn't pick a woman, obviously there would be a lot of women out there, and I'm not gonna name like any groups or whatnot. There'd be a lot of women out there that are gonna be like, oh, they're sexist, this and that, because like they did not pick the woman. But obviously, in the NBA, it doesn't come down to race, gender, and if you believe multiple genders, sex, or anything like that. It doesn't come down to like that stuff. It comes down to skill and pure skill only.
And I would also like to say that this is not supposed to be sexist.
Yeah, for sure.
We are just stating a valuable point that WNBA, they need to step up their game. And sports are going to be a part of life forever. Forever.
Yeah, I agree with Jake and Josh, and no offense to the WNBA, but I personally would rather go to my high school girls basketball game than watch the WNBA.
And Ben Shapiro says later in this video, I've already watched this video, I don't know where it is. He says something about a high school team could easily be a WNBA team. Easily. Look at, was LaMelo Ball used to play on Chino Hills?
Chino Hills, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Chino
brother.
Hills back in the day could easily beat just about any WNBA team. Easily. LaMelo Ball is a top tier NBA player right now. And he was, back then, he wasn't as good as he is now, obviously, but I still think that he could have easily beat a WNBA team.
For sure.
All right. Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine. And not trying to be rude or anything, my basketball team could probably put up a really good fight against the WNBA team.
Yeah.
Like, there's some basketball teams I've played and Kiwis has played, and they could probably beat some of these teams.
Yeah, and it shows a lot, to be honest.
No one in the WNBA, I've watched like 2 or 3 WNBA games, and I've done research on them. I've done research on a lot of stuff. No one in the league can really dunk.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't see dunking almost
No.
any time, really. I mean, you see it a couple times, but
You
not
see-
like you do in the NBA or high school.
You see more air balls than you do see layups.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows that in the NBA, you see more 3-point shots than you do see air balls and layups. It just proves that, I mean, it could be a mid-range shot, and the WNBA people would probably miss it if they're contested. It just shows that it takes 10 times more work than what they're doing.
Yeah. Very, very well said. It was a good topic, and I think we're ready to go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so U.S. inflation over the years. So right now, I heard Christmas shopping is very, very hard because of inflation. And even CNN, so at my school that I go to, we had to watch CNN 10 after lunch. And it's really not that bad. They don't
They
get
keep
one
it
sided
funny and
biased.
everything.
They're really, really good about keeping it just informational.
Mm-hmm.
And I sincerely love it, even though I absolutely hate CNN, which I will say that without caring. So on here, it doesn't show whenever Joe Biden became president, but before Joe Biden became president, before 2020, okay, so Donald Trump was president in 2016. So he raised he had inflation from 2016 to 2018, which is just about normal for middle of president terms, if I heard right.
May I say something right quick?
Yes, go ahead.
And if you go back to 2016, it was steadily getting lower and lower too.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, Barack Obama, in the middle of his term, in the middle-ish of his term, 2011, 2012, right? Wouldn't that be around the middle?
One of his terms, yeah.
Yeah, because he had to. It spiked up. Just like in Donald Trump's 2018, it spikes up to about the same 3.1, 2.44. It's about the same. I'm not really going to go particularly with percentages. Like, this is like the Great Depression, correct? This time period?
Yeah.
Okay, so this does not compare with that. So, a big thing with this is at the end of his presidential term, he got it to go back down, basically handing it off to Joe Biden. I don't know why, but they do not show. They don't. I don't know where I'd find that, but we all know inflation is getting higher and Christmas shopping is harder because inflation. I mean, what was the thing? California, what is it? Like California Bay? Where do they put like all the crates?
Nah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The big metal crates out in California. I think they're in Alabama or Louisiana still.
Oh, like a barge
Because
kind of thing?
yeah, where they like the big huge crates for all the items, and that's why a bunch of items are taking forever.
Yeah.
I tried finding a picture. What'd you call it?
A barge?
Barge, like that?
Yeah, I think. Like
Yeah,
those
these.
things? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is in California. This picture right here. They're all sitting in the ocean. This is in California. See all those crates?
Yeah.
That is absolutely unheard of.
Yeah, that is ridiculous right there.
And that's why it's so hard Christmas shopping, etc. That's, I won't say scary, but that's not good.
Yeah. Definitely not good.
And that shows that inflation is going to go up.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Until we get this down, it's just going to keep on going up.
Yeah.
You guys got anything to say on that?
Just the
To be
fact that like
honest,
they're all just chilling there and like nobody really is doing anything about it. That also concerns me too.
They have, so I read this up. Semi trucks obviously take these, and I read that they're having a shortage of semi truck drivers.
Yeah.
And that's another big deal with this, which that's jobs. We're losing jobs in America. And
we're losing jobs really. When COVID first hit, we lost 90, not 90, I would say half of America lost their jobs. So you really can't do anything about that.
because they were scared of COVID. And why are they scared of COVID? Because of the government. They
Yeah.
have people scared to leave their homes. It
See,
is a valuable point on why we don't have semi truck drivers to drive these to the respectable places.
and no offense, I'm not like trying to be like a douche or anything.
Me-
What it all boils down to is the government. The
Yep.
government is ruling the world right now, and we can't do anything about it. As citizens, we could try our best to do stuff, but when it comes down to it, we're not gonna be able to get anything. Because
hmm
for us to get in the Supreme Court against the government, that's highly impossible.
Yeah, and it's just that comes down to like the society we live in today. It's just everything's out of whack right now.
hmm And there's laziness, and like you said, Riley, you said something about the government rules the world. The government does not just rule the U.S.
It
U.S.
rules,
is the world.
yeah, it rules
We
90% of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And
As
seeing this, I won't say devastating, but it's crazy.
The only place I would say the government really doesn't rule is England, and that's because most of England, like the Queen of England, is probably one of the most powerful people in the world.
Yeah.
as
She
And
can cause
oh,
anything to happen in a blink of an eye.
yeah, and as much as as much as a lot of people like to say America's not a superpower, we really are a superpower in terms of the
yeah.
whole world. Like literally,
Yeah.
majority of the Middle Eastern or like other side of the world, they literally rely on us for a lot of things. I mean, we may rely on them for a lot of things too, but
Yeah.
most of like their stuff relies on what we do. And if we have stuff like this happening, shortage of truck drivers, shortage of wood, lumber, like my school got canceled like last Friday because we had a shortage of staff, you know
Yeah.
just a lot of shortages of things. It's like really concerning, not just to us but the entire world too.
And it all boils down to jobs.
Yeah.
And that is something I will say. Josh brought up something about wood and lumber. Wood has skyrocketed in price. It used to be not so much. It used to be for firewood it was still expensive, but it wasn't like so much. Wood now has skyrocketed so much that people really won't buy firewood. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is
I'm gonna
definitely
pull up a
true.
graph for both gas and that. So right now, the average I think is right now is $3.3.
And that's on a government website, so that's definitely most likely trusted.
Yeah, and that is unheard of. And let's just go to whenever Trump in the middle of Trump's uh term in 2018 ish, $2.4.
Look when he got elected.
2016.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the start of his term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
definitely.
then and that is Barack Obama doing wrong, but then again, you also see this in Barack Obama's term.
Yeah,
All
and look
these
at his first
highs.
term, or the start of his first term. 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he definitely
So
brought
who
that
gave that
down.
to him?
Bush,
Bush. Okay. Um
I think.
and that's another thing. I mean,
I think.
yes, Trump did raise it just a little bit, but he kept it steady. This up and down is not steady, and I think that's going to be what we see with Biden is either a gradual increase like this, or we're going to see up and down. This remains pretty steady before we hit COVID, which is right about here.
Yeah.
And
It starts skin rumbling and going down.
in Biden's defense, though, I don't like Biden. For everyone watching, I do not. No offense. Whew, he gets me started sometimes. But in his defense, it's not just his fault. It's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
more of like everyone's fault.
And that
Like,
goes along with like the job thing. No truck drivers to
mhm.
like put gas anywhere, so they're having a shortage of gas because they have a shortage
And
of truck drivers. They have to increase the prices just so they can keep their profit.
It's cause and
then
effect.
with
Yeah.
like truck drivers, they don't want to get out. Like most truck drivers don't want to spend because they fill up a truck tank. I seen a video and I think it was like $800 to fill it up completely.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't
That's
doubt it.
expensive. That's $200 away from $1,000 just to fill up one tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can buy you so much. You know how much Big Macs you can get?
That's a great way to put it. Drips, I love that. Oh, I'm gonna show lumber on the screen so you guys can see that. Oh, this is just this year.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. At
How's
the
that
start of 2020,
low. Then
it
it
was
just went.
low. I don't know how this works, but then around May, in about mid-May, it spikes up.
Yeah. And then it went
I
down, then down, then
yeah,
back up a little, then down, then it's
and
going back
it
up.
and this is still high if I know right. But it's better over 5 years. Yeah, that's what it should be. Down here, it's up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Lumber by itself is expensive, but it shouldn't be that high. It should be
Yeah.
steady.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm pretty sure the average lumber price is like, I'm not for sure. I'm not gonna put my input on that.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, I think we're ready to go on to the next topic, which
Yeah.
is the last topic.
Yep.
So, COVID cases in colleges. So, this is from the New York Times, which I could have found probably anywhere else. I could find information like this, but I saw this and I said, why not? This is kind of crazy. You see a lot more cases up here rather than down here.
Yeah.
And I think that's because there's more colleges.
Like more like bigger colleges.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not. These
'Cause,
don't
like,
seem to be
if
too
you,
big.
If you really think about it, back in the early stages of America, like look near New York City, like where Pennsylvania is, all those like Manhattan, all the big cities, they like the eastern seaboard of the United States had a lot of colleges because that's literally where everybody lived back in the time of, you know, the first early stages of America. Then they started moving west and west and west. That's why you don't see a lot of colleges on that side because, you know, maybe it's still today like California is still a heavy populated city, but it's nothing near as much as the eastern seaboard would ever be.
Yeah, and a lot of big schools in like Florida, for instance, they have the Gators. Texas, they have Texas A&M. They have what's the other one in Texas? Not Baylor, but Texas Tech. That's what I was looking for. And then in east, they have Penn State. They have Michigan. They have Ohio State. They have such bigger schools up there.
Now they have Harvard up there too.
Yeah, where's Yale?
I'm not sure about that one.
I don't know. Yale's a big school, I thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of Florida Gators, congrats to them for winning last night.
They did win last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, 24-21.
Woo! Who are they going against?
I'll check.
I got it. Gators versus
Might have been another Florida team.
Gators game.
Gators last night game. 24-20. Yeah, it was Florida State Seminoles.
Well,
That's crazy.
Congrats to LSU for winning that game last night too. You heard me?
LSU. Yeah, I heard about that actually.
Yeah, bro. Our last game of the season.
And there was the Michigan game.
I want to congratulate Michigan the most for winning against Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
I just like Iowa a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they beat them.
And I'd also like to say that that's another thing. Sports. COVID cases have a huge impact on sports.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Last year, most basketball people thought they were gonna have to wear masks during games, and for like people with asthma or underlying heart conditions, like one of our friends, like me and Kiwi's friends.
Yeah, we have a friend. Yeah, we're not gonna go in detail.
But he has an underlying heart condition.
Yeah.
And if he would have had to wear a mask, he could have maybe died. If not,
he wouldn't be able to play as much as he did. Yeah.
Let's say
and
that.
So it's a scary thing for sports whenever it becomes a big pandemic.
He has asthma, and if we had to wear masks, he probably wouldn't play at all.
Yeah, I possibly wouldn't be able to play because it's hard to breathe in those masks, and we all know this. Once you get running and stuff, and it gets really, really hot on your mouth area, and it gets kind of sweaty. Don't like it at all.
That's for sure.
So, do you guys have any other topics you want to talk about real quick? Anything brief? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, music.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, check out my. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, really, I do have a question for you. So, yesterday we were talking about on the episode 1, we talked about Black Friday. How did Black Friday go for you?
I didn't go Black Friday. Jake.
Okay. So there's another person. A bunch of people just aren't going Black Friday shopping this year.
My mom did, but I don't think I've never went, and I was,
Okay.
what, Friday.
Yeah, that's respectable. But we were talking about yesterday with Black Friday was a bunch of people haven't been doing in-store shopping. They've been doing it online.
Yeah.
Yes,
Would you agree that that's
agree.
been a big thing?
I agree 1,000%. Last year, my cousin went and bought the PS5. He went in on Friday, woke up at like 2 in the morning,
Yeah.
camped out, wait for Walmart to open. One of the first people, he got it. My mom is gonna hopefully get me the Xbox Series S, but if she does, she already said she's getting it online. She's not gonna go camp outside, and I do think it's mostly. I don't know. It has a lot to do with a lot of stuff.
And a bunch of it is convenience.
It's more convenient for her, and it's just not enough products are being shipped out quick enough because people are not working,
And
not with what we were talking about earlier with cargo and stuff.
I would like to say that there may be bad impacts, negative impacts of COVID, but there's also a positive. Okay? And this is a positive that I see in it. Online shopping has gradually gotten easier, better and better. You have a bunch of people now doing online shopping, and that's because it has got much easier. Back then it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was harder, but it wasn't as convenient as just going in the store, getting what you need and getting out. Now you go in a store and it's not always there.
I would like go on, Jake.
It's definitely gotten better, and I think that it will keep on getting better as technology gets more advanced as it goes on.
I have to say one brief thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So all the crypto miners, you guys suck. You guys made GPU prices go so high.
That is so true. So true. Off topic, but I think Drips will be leading the discussion tomorrow, maybe. And if he is, even if Josh is, I think that'll be a good topic to talk about is crypto coin.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be a good topic to talk about in the near future, if not tomorrow. So.
For sure. Alright, does that sum up everything?
Alright, I think we are good today. This is My 13th Reason podcast, episode 2.
Yeah. And this is our 13th reason why you should